Me out tonight. Good evening, Cubes of the Cash. Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy here, and joining me this special Thursday edition of the 1011, my co-host, Digger Jim. How you doing tonight, Jim?
Doing good, sir. Doing good.
Jim was earlier behind the scenes mocking me with his warm weather and outside grilling while I'm in Rochester freezing my ass off. So thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
And our guest of the hour. And I'm so happy to finally talk to this guy and meet him. We've had interactions over the last couple of years and just a stand-up dude in the Instagram community. We would love to welcome Ben Parker Comics onto the show. Ben, how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Thank
That
you.
is your real name.
It is my real name.
But it's a great combination though for a Spider-Man fan too, right? Ben Parker.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's a surprisingly small amount of Spider-Man in my presentation tonight, but you know.
Excuse me. For those who don't know you, give a little info on who Ben Parker is and what your Instagram account's about.
Well, I'll start with my Instagram account is really just showing books that I love and books that I pick up from other members in the community, and it's really just my personal collection stuff. I do have a sales page that I haven't done anything with, but I think a lot of people can relate to that one.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just I've been collecting for it's coming up on 40 years now, and my sister got me hooked. What's that?
So you've dipped your toe in.
Yeah. He barely knows anything.
I'm just I'm beginning to like it a little bit, and
Right?
yeah. No, yeah, my sister got me hooked way back in the day, and I mean, I ran with it, kind of like everybody who collects did. You know, it's
Yeah.
either love it or you don't. You know.
All right. You either get bit by the bug or it doesn't mean anything to you.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
but if you get bit, you get bit hard with comics.
Right.
No doubt.
But we're gonna say hi to the crowd real quick, and then we'll get going. So
Let's do it.
joining us tonight, first as always, we have Las Cruces. Good evening, sir. Nice to see you.
Las
Jamie.
Cruces.
We have Matt, Comics by the Bay. Good evening. Jean Malo. Good evening, sir. Nice to see you, buddy. Another good hockey guy, Jean. Seth 11. Good evening, sir. Nice to see you.
11?
Psychedelic Comics, always in the chats. Thank you, sir, for the support. Nice to see you out tonight. Comiverse, Tony, how you doing tonight, sir?
Tony.
And we have DJ Links. Good evening, DJ. Nice to see you. Cole's Comic Claims. How you doing?
Cole.
And we'll get this dirty plug in for DJ. Hashtag Link Squad.
Link Squad.
And DJ, one of the nicest guys on YouTube. Taylor Winder. Mark from Legion of Comics. Good evening, Mark. Nice to see you, buddy. And just while we have Mark in the chat, I went back and I finished Shazam, and I liked the last half of Shazam better than I liked the first half. It picked up for me, and I enjoyed it. Did it move the ground and earth for me? No. Was it an enjoyable film to just sit down and watch? 100% it was. All right, so without further ado, Ben, let's get to your first book and let you kick it off, and let's learn a little bit about you through what you collect.
All right. So my first book is I've only got a few moderns in here because I'm a sucker for all the older stuff. But
there you go.
First one is Murder Falcon #1.
Oh, with the
Right.
Judas font.
Yep. And that's why I love this book. I mean, I saw it and had to get it because it pays homage to my favorite Judas Priest album Painkiller.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right
So
on.
that whole story is like Murder Falcon comes to Earth from his world called the Heavy, and
Right.
he recruits this guy named Jake, who every time Jake shreds, Murder Falcon does some like his powers get amped up. So
Right.
that's all about it. It's-
Yeah, I'd never read that, and Mark actually from Legion of Comics looked at me like, "Dude, you never read that?" And he sent me the hard copy, the trade,
oh, nice.
and it really it just blew me away. I was like, "Wow, this is really good." And yeah, so I think I sent it on to my brother, and then he got it signed. And I think he sent it to Marcus. Like we just kept moving it along. And yeah, I love it.
I'm gonna have to hit Amazon and get the trade because all I've heard is incredible things about this story. And
Well,
how can you not like a character called Murder Falcon?
Murder Falcon. But it also, I mean, the story touched me a little bit in the feels, and there was some stuff going on personally in the background with a friend of mine that is a musician, has a son that's a musician, and was going through some stuff. And when I was reading it, I was like, holy cow. This is, I mean, like at one point I was like, my wife looked at me like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, this comic is something else. You know, when you read a comic that moves you at that level, it's special.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and that's part of why we collect. Yeah, we like our fun, fluffy stories here and there. And then you get hit with great stories, you know,
Yeah.
like Kraven's Last Hunt and stuff like that, and things that really draw you into the medium when it's at its peak for what it can do for you as a storytelling platform.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, number 2, Ben.
Number
Good story. You
two.
surprised me right off the bat. I love it.
I know. Some rock.
Number 2 is the only other issue of that series I have, which pays homage to my favorite heavy metal band, Iron Maiden's Somewhere in Time album. And I actually also want to go on Amazon and grab that trade because I really want to read the rest of this series. But this, like, I remember just as a kid putting the headphones on, putting this cassette in, and
Yeah.
just, I mean, I'd sit there and read Dragonlance books and just
Sure.
be
Oh,
zoning
nice.
out, and I was way into Dragonlance. So,
Now, were
music,
you also a choose your own adventure guy back in the day?
way back in the day. Yeah.
I remember those fondly.
Yeah.
And getting mad when I chose wrong.
Yeah. I died a lot. Yeah.
But
So, yeah, I think I'll pick that trade up too because I definitely want to check out the rest of that one.
I know
Yeah.
all of YouTube is going to be reading Murder Falcon.
Well, you know,
You got Mark's. Oh, and by the way, while Mark's in the audience, let's congratulate Mark on hitting 2,000 on his YouTube channel. Congrats,
yeah,
Mark.
nice.
Well done, sir.
Congratulations,
Well
sir.
done.
Yes.
Definitely.
Great milestone. And we got, if we're talking Iron Maiden, I'm talking about Run to the Hills.
Hills.
Absolutely.
And I love the song Alexander the Great.
Yep.
Mm.
Oh, good. Such a song nobody knows about, and it's so fantastic.
Yeah, it's one of their epics. It's like 98 minutes long and
But it's so good.
amazing. Yep.
And we had Dr. Von Hoots come in. Good evening, sir. Nice to see you. Got to get him on the show as well.
Yeah.
All right, so number 3.
All right. Number 3 is Department of Truth 15, which
Leaving Las Vegas cover.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yes, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. That's right. Thank you.
And that pays homage to one of my favorite authors, Hunter S. Thompson,
Mm-hmm.
who was just a wild, crazy dude, and like just pushed the limits on everything he did, and
Right.
rarely got caught, I guess. So I love this one. It was I think it's limited to 400.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah, but it's, I mean,
That's-
But yeah, I thought that was cool. And then Inner Glasses, of course.
Yeah.
Now, is that a series that you continue with too? Because I've heard a lot of people have dropped off it lately, that it hasn't kept up its its hooks as well. What's your opinion on the series as a whole? If you're still reading it,
I honestly only read like the first 3 or 4 issues of that one, and then I just dropped off because I shifted my collecting goals and really just I got sick of new books. I just got sick of new books. I want to pursue old books that I don't have, and I want to complete runs and sets of things that I've had 1 and 2 of, for forever. So
Right.
See, it's been tough for me, right? Because a lot of the new books were characters I wanted to have their own stories that never had them before, and now they finally have their own stories. But I'm still reading more Bronze Age books than modern books. I still go back and reread my Bronze Age every single day. I'm reading something from the Bronze Age, or just I don't know. That's my sweet spot for me. When I was growing up, that's what really hit me. All right, so number 4, sir.
I mean, I just to that point though, there's some amazing stuff out there. Like they're still writing great books. They're writing a lot of shitty books too, but
Right.
That's always been the case. People just don't remember it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm collecting Nightwing right now, and I mean, it has its ups and downs, but overall, it's I've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it, and actually, lately DC has been carrying my attention more than Marvel. I think the only real Marvel book that I read right now religiously is Strange Academy. Like I might pick some of the other ones up, but it's just because I forgot to take it off my pull. Like I need to drop Thor. I'm not really reading Thor anymore. So it might be time for that one to go. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And the stuff and the characters that they are writing well, I find they're doing them in 6-issue arcs or 5-issue arcs. So they got a complete story to tell, and that's where I think they work best.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with those
But
5
there
and
are
6
30 or 40 covers for each of the 6 issues.
That's okay. I mean, that's how they make their money.
You can fill a short box with a 6-issue series.
No.
Yeah, I got a couple of those here.
So do I.
That's true. Comics by the Bay is right. Moon Knight is still good. You're absolutely right. Jed McKay is still crushing Moon Knight. So that's the other Marvel that I like.
And so is the Black Cat, Jim.
Yeah, Black Cat too.
Jim and I are about to fight.
Black Cat.
All right, number 4, Ben.
All right, number 4 is X-Men 50.
Oh, give me that book.
Ooh, Polaris.
Damn.
And it's the second appearance of Polaris, and it's Jim Steranko did the art, and he's pretty much my all-time favorite artist.
Now, with that said, Ben, Pimp Daddy Steranko will be at Heroes Con. Are you considering getting him to sign it?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know what he charges. I haven't had a book signed ever, so
yeah. I you know what? I'm not sure what he charges either, but I mean, I'm sure it won't be cheap. But at the same time, I think, and again, I don't know what your plans are, but I'm sure like somebody, CBC or CBCS, somebody will be there at Heroes Con if you wanted to send it off to get it slabbed and so forth and so forth. If not, I don't slab most of my signed stuff, but
yeah.
What does that book go for nowadays?
Oh man.
I don't even know.
I'll bet it's easily. I bet it raw. It's got to be like 200 and some.
Yeah, I think that book priced itself out for me. It was funny because when I started reading, really getting into X-Men, that's when they had X-Force and New Mutants and all that.
Yeah.
Man, and Polaris was one of my favorites. I liked her way better than Jean Grey, and I just found her really interesting. I don't know if it had anything to do with the green aesthetic, but I love the costume.
Right.
And I always just thought Polaris was more interesting.
Hold that up one more time. It's just a beautiful cover. It's like it's one of the books that I need to sell some stuff just to be able to get that one, man. I mean, that's to me that's the key. One of my favorite covers they have of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need one of your kidneys, Jim.
Yeah, at least. Nice, Ben. Very nice.
Yeah, Polaris is awesome. I love there's so many great X-Men characters, Dazzler, but that just don't get the spotlight because it's always Cyclops, Jean Grey, Wolverine, Professor X,
Yeah.
Magneto, Juggernaut. You know, and
Yeah.
for a universe that's as big as it is, there's like Wolfsbane is another favorite of mine.
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
But werewolves are my favorite horror creature.
Sunfire, I believe wasn't he a Japanese?
Yeah, the Japanese
Sunfire
guy.
is awesome, and he's
Yeah.
got one of the coolest costumes too.
He had like two issues, didn't he? Like he was introduced in '94 and killed in '95 or something like that, or was that Tomahawk? I know there were a couple.
No,
He's
it was Warpath, I think, or
Yeah,
that was only in 2 issues, and then
Right.
his brother came on later on in I believe X-Force, but no, Sunfire he's still around. He's just when they first met though, they were clashing, so
yeah. That's how it usually went.
yeah, they didn't know who, they were over in Japan fucking around in his backyard, and he said, nah, ain't having it.
All right, number 5, Ben.
All right, number 5 is the issue just before that one, which is the first appearance of Polaris.
Right.
And, Mesmero. First appearance of Mesmero.
Mesmero, yeah.
This is also a Stranko cover and just one of my favorite books. I've had this one for a really, really long time, and this is in pretty high grade. I'd love to have him sign this one. Like I'll clean and press it and take it to the con with me. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of white on there that he could sign on.
Absolutely. Right between Angel's legs.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good spot right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Now, what is it about the Polaris character that made her one of your favorites?
Actually, these were my favorites. The previous cover 50 is my favorite Stranko cover.
Yeah.
And this is just another one of my favorites. It's more about him than Polaris.
Oh, okay.
Right. He's not
Yeah, that's
obsessive
nice.
like you are, Gary.
If you can get his signature now, because another guy that's getting up there in
Yeah.
numbers.
I know
Well,
I
I
was
s-
shocked that he's still doing the circuit, but
Yeah.
I'm glad. Yeah,
He has a
Right.
whole crew, though. Trust me. They're not going to,
I'm sure.
he
Well,
has
and
a
no
whole
matter how old you are,
team.
you don't get tired of the money, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, number 6, Ben.
All right, number 6 is the Marvel superheroes.
Ooh,
Oh,
first pair
yeah.
of numbers.
Number 12, Captain Marvel. I believe it's the first Silver Age Captain Marvel.
Right.
Yeah,
Marvel.
the new Captain Marvel. Yeah,
I know they just skipped right over that suit in the movie. They skipped over all the best suits in the movie.
yeah. This suit actually
like
is super cool. I mean, I didn't have this. This wasn't even on my radar. I bought a long time ago 1 through 14.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
and I got that whole set in relatively high grade. Just it drew me in with this costume, and there's some covers with him kind of floating in space with Iron
Sure.
Man doing the
Yeah.
getting
Duking
ready
it
to
out.
fight and
Now,
stuff.
do you
Right.
like that better than his red and blue costume?
I do personally. I mean,
Well, it looks more like a Silver Agey like space.
Exactly.
He just needs a
Right.
bubble helmet on it, and he's all good to go.
exactly.
Then Rob will get them all. Rob will be all up on them if you get
Yeah.
a bubble helmet on it.
Yeah, if you want to sell those to Rob, just draw bubble helmets on all his covers.
Right. He's like, I've got to have that. It's a bubble helmet.
Now, the death of Captain Marvel, was that a big storyline for you when that came out?
No, I really just kind of kept my Captain Marvel, like my passion for it to the Silver Age stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's weird too, because for Heroes Don't Die, he's one of the few that is, for the most part, stayed dead. I mean, they bring him back in little weird circumstances here and there, but not for long.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's true.
he had some really fun stories.
Damn, Steranko's 84.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
crazy.
yeah. All right,
Yeah.
you might want to get that shit signed this June.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm definitely gonna bring some stuff for him.
Yeah.
He's pretty much the only artist that I'm aware of. I don't know if that list gets updated as people, come aboard, but
yeah.
he's the one that I'm
Yeah.
absolutely looking forward to the
Right.
most.
I'm sure he'd rather sign some of those than Fury, Agent of Shield, or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he probably signs those constantly.
Roy Thomas is supposed to be there, and
Okay.
I'm not sure if the Simonsons are going to be there or not. They had a really long line. We just can skip past that. Keep moving on, sir.
Oh goodness! All right, number 7, Ben.
He's
All
going
right.
to leave it up there.
Oh, whoops, my bad.
Hi, shop.
So
Oh,
number
nice.
7 is X-Men 14, and this just the Sentinels were just always mesmerizing to me. Like when I was a kid, I was just imagining these giant robots,
Yeah, right.
tearing up the city, trying to catch superheroes. So,
I mean, can you
I
imagine?
definitely- what's that?
I said, could you imagine? I mean, they were supposed to be bigger than houses, and they take
Right.
the top off. I mean,
Well,
I don't know.
That's the
Where
thing. They look really fun and cool in the comics, but if
Yeah.
that was something in real life, it would scare the living shit out of you.
Right.
See one of
It'd be
those
like-
giant legs coming down.
Right. It's like the
Yeah.
size of a water tower or something, and those giant water towers as a robot. And
Yeah, and that book's in great shape too, Ben.
yeah, that looks really good.
Yeah, this one's in pretty good shape. I've had this for, just forever. I've had all these forever, and it was the X-Men that my sister got me hooked on. So early on, I was seeking out everything,
Right.
everything I could get my hands on a 14-year-old's budget,
Now, you got started on the X-Men, but you're known for Spider-Man. How did that change come about for you?
Well, that came about when I bought a mystery box on eBay and got for $25 and got an Amazing Spider-Man #1 in it,
Wow.
like the 1963 Amazing
Wow. For $25.
$25. So
Jim, how come you and I don't have stories like this?
Mm-mm. Now this must have been like what, 1980 or something.
Right.
on eBay,
Jesus Christ.
yeah.
How
But
surprised were you, man? That person had no idea what they had in there.
No, they probably
He is-
didn't.
it was like a chase thing, like
Oh, okay.
So I was like, yeah, I'll buy one, and I got it, and he did it every month, and he must have had a stack of ASM #1s because it was every month he was doing these chase mystery boxes, and
Wow.
Wow.
yeah, I was shocked. I mean, I sold that book about 10 years ago for a price that makes me really sad in 2023.
Well, as long as it was more than $25, you
Yeah, you're ahead of the game, bro. You're
It
ahead
was.
of the game.
I definitely, yeah, 25. I think I sold it for 2,500.
so you read that one and you just fell in love with the Peter Parker character.
I did, and then I think as a kid I knew that his uncle was Ben Parker, but it never registered until I started reading the comics, and then I was like, oh yeah, that's. I mean, can't believe I never put that together, but yeah.
Excellent.
All right, so as a before we move on, as a Spider-Man fan, what has been your favorite Spider-Man movie?
Oh geez. I mean, that's tough. I'll just have to say the original one, the old
Sam Raimi.
The Tobey Maguire one, you mean?
well, the Toby Maguire.
Yeah.
He's
Wow.
talking about the Nicholas Hammond TV movie from 1977.
Yeah.
That's that one. That one
Jeez.
with the felt costume.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I make fun of that, but I was watching it any chance I could.
Oh,
'Cause
hell
I was
yeah.
like, wow, Spider-Man live action, and
Are
he'd
you
be in like
kidding?
3 minutes of the show, and
Yeah.
he'd be in that little mechanism, and he'd do a spin, and then
I remember him on the Electric Company. Like it was the only reason I watched the Electric Company.
same
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And I was always
Yeah.
mad they didn't let him talk.
Yeah. It's just thought bubbles, you know.
Yeah, Thought Bubbles, right.
And I love, speaking of Electric Company, I love that series too. The Spidey, Spidey Super Stories.
Yeah.
Such a fun series.
Yeah.
Well, all right, number eight, Ben.
All right, number 8 is a big one for me because I'm just a huge Star Wars fan.
I knew there was going to be some Star Wars in here for sure.
Star Wars.
Wow.
So I had before when I joined Instagram, I think I had 2 Star Wars comic books, and one of them was missing half the cover. It was and I just they weren't on my radar, and then then all of a sudden I'm seeing all these people post all these comic books about Star Wars, and I was like, what is this, And so I did a huge deal with Condemned Kitten from Instagram. I haven't seen her post in quite some time, but she sold me that book and a fat stack of volume 1 to get me caught up, and I'm off and running. It's essentially Star Wars books are the only thing I've collected in over the last year.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the only thing I've
Have you
perceived.
put that original run together completely?
Almost. I'm working on a pretty big deal to round out volume 1 and all Dark Horse titles.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, this guy, people know him, Ziggy from Instagram. I'm struggling to remember his screen name now, but
Yeah.
he did a major warehouse buy, and he was like, yeah, I have like 20 boxes of Star Wars comic books, 20 long boxes. And
Ben Parker, pleased to meet you.
Yes, I'll take them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
so we're working on something, but it's been ongoing for months, and
Right.
but I've alerted the wife that I will be purchasing a large amount of Star Wars comic books in the near future, just to avoid sleeping on the couch.
Right now, as a collector, are you a run completionist, or because if I'm collecting something, I want the run.
Yeah, I do want full runs of my favorite titles, and so far I've been able to put together full runs of so many titles that I care nothing about.
Right.
So, it just happens. Picking up lots and mystery boxes and this and that.
Sure.
You end up getting just loads of stuff that is not for your collection. So
Right.
Oh, you do.
yeah,
But you like
That's part of the game, though.
Yeah, I thought I remember you bought a collection a while back from this guy, and I thought it was a mix of indies and Star Wars in there.
yeah.
I can't remember, and I thought it was a decent amount. A
It
fair
was.
amount.
It was 20 or so long boxes, I think.
Yeah,
It was the majority of it was indie
yeah,
from 90s on.
right,
So, there's a lot of cool stuff in there like Hellboy and
yeah.
and Umbrella Academy and things like that,
Did you end up with the Usagi Yojimbo?
No, he didn't have
Wow.
That would have been a great.
I only have one Usagi Yojimbo book. I think it's issue 10.
Yeah.
but it's in great shape. So
I had 0, and I'm okay with that.
oh, I went to a con when I was a kid with my neighbor friend, and he bought the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series, and I laughed at that kid. I was like, "Hey, man, if that's what you like, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
And look at him now.
Look at him now.
Oh, look at him now. Yeah,
Well, it's funny too because I wonder because I read the Turtles when they first came. I love the serious tone of them, and it was an adult book,
yeah,
and it lost me when it went kitty.
Yeah.
You know, but that's when it got popular mainstream is when it went kitty. So you can understand why they never went back to. They do that now with like the Last Ronin and stuff. They go serious again. But you
Right.
can understand why they stayed there. That thing just turned into such a cash cow.
yeah.
Yeah.
And just
Sure.
what do you got? Like 20, 30 knockoff series, like radioactive gerbils and all sorts of
Oh,
weird
yeah.
stuff that
There's-
biker
Oh, yeah.
mice from Mars and
Yeah,
all sorts of stuff trying to cash in on that phenomenon of throwing a bunch of random names together and making some heroes.
Right.
yeah.
I wondered if there was any Sandman in that run. That's why that you bought.
Yeah, there
Because
was.
people will buy that. I mean, if that's not a book that you're into, man, people will definitely tear into the Sandman. That Neil Gaiman run is people love to buy that.
There was, and Criminal, that the other one that's getting hot now, I believe. There was a whole run. I mean, he had all the runs of
Nice.
a lot of that stuff, and I bought it. I bought it for the Star Wars. He had a ton of Dark Horse Star Wars, and
Right. I thought so. I thought I remember you talking about that, and I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. All right, number 8, Ben.
See,
See, I didn't. This is great. I'm learning a lot about Ben tonight. Like I didn't know he was that big into Star Wars.
oh yeah,
This should be number 9, I believe. This is Star Blazers Volume 2, Number 1.
Nice.
And it's not a big book, but it's my favorite cover to represent the series out of the ones that I have.
nice.
And
Well, it's a good dynamic pose on there with all the characters. It's cool.
Yeah,
yeah. And this
It-
one's big to me because it was my favorite cartoon as a kid.
right.
And I would just go absolutely nuts with my little neighbor friend when this show was coming on. We would just be bouncing off the walls, you know.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Star Blazers in my life.
Well, if you can, that's good. I know they sell the DVD sets and you can buy them digitally, but the prices are just insane. So these are it's just a little caveat, not part of the 10-1-1, but I have these the big
Oh yeah,
Oh, the
they're
collection.
trades, and they have all art from the original movie.
Oh wow.
okay. So that was like a Japanese anime type thing, right?
Yeah, it was this big submarine floating through space,
Okay.
and they
You
were
got a
trying.
request from Simple
Yeah, they were
Simon.
trying to get back to their planet Iskandar.
Yeah.
And it was originally called Space Cruiser Yamato. So
Oh, there you go. And Simon says you have to sing the Star Blazer song, intro song. So go ahead, do it now because we've never heard it. Simon, he said no. Well, that's dope looking.
Yeah, I mean-
Again, I don't think I've ever seen that.
And I've seen Star Blazers, but you know, it's one of those manga titles that just always pass me by for some reason.
Sure.
yeah, but this, that's just pure nostalgia for me. I mean,
Man.
I've gone to buy the DVD sets 100 times over the last decade, and they just keep going up and up
See,
and up. So,
I got to do that with Bubblegum Crisis before that gets outpriced because I love the original Bubblegum Crisis series. I don't know if you know what Bubblegum Crisis is.
I don't.
I don't either.
There's a big evil corporation, I know, shocker, called Genom, Genom, and there's 4 women in robot tech suits who are also a kick-ass rock band, and they take on the Genom Corporation and are always fighting them, and they work alongside the cops. and the music's incredible. The writing's great. The first series was so popular, it became like this classic thing. I say that now, and now no one I talk to knows what it is. But they made a second series of it, which wasn't nearly as good as the first, and they changed a lot of stuff. But that first series of Bubblegum Crisis is just great mech and monster action
That's awesome.
with a killer soundtrack. Like
There you go.
every time they go to fight and one of their songs kicks in, it just amps you up. You're ready for the battle.
Nice. That's cool. What year did that come out around?
Oh, that was in the early 90s, like 92, 93.
Juan's saying that he has the DVD set, Gary.
Ooh, that's a great DVD set, Juan.
Nice.
I'm glad someone else has heard of Bubblegum Crisis. It's so spectacular. I was looking at the Blu-ray at Amazon. You know what? I'm probably going to pull the trigger on that this week because I am going through the nostalgia feels for that series really bad.
Yeah.
I am so glad this is the first person that's heard of it besides me in the YouTube community. It's so good, especially if you like mechs and monsters. All right, number 9, Ben. Enough about my Bubblegum Crisis fascination.
Gary, I think this should be number 10, actually.
Okay, number 10.
Oh, we were just on Star Blazers, right?
Yes.
All right, all right, that's all right. Go ahead. Juggernaut.
So this is X-Men 12. This copy's a little beat up, but
you have it.
Yeah, that's trash. You should send that to me. You don't want that. You don't want to mess your collection up with that. You should just go ahead and forward that to me.
And Juggernaut was my favorite X-Men villain.
Yeah, he's probably in one of my top ones as well. Just the fact that he's like, Charles's half brother or whatever, and he's like,
right.
They did him wrong in the movie, though. They made him seem stupid.
Yeah, they didn't do him right in the movie. It's
hard. He had that one catch line that everybody loved that doesn't really know who the character is, and
yeah. But in the comics, it's really cool. And they did a mini series, I think last year or the year before. We had that little mini run that was really good.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, and it was because he's been through so much where he lost the power of the Juggernaut and then he got it back, and he's had this whole change in who he is. So, hey, Warlord. Yeah, that's I don't know the cover. I think that's one of my top covers as well. I like that one.
Nice.
Oh, true, David. True.
Yeah, Deadpool Juggernaut was dope.
And I don't know. It's just X-Men again. I want to see in a movie. I want to see them fight the Morlocks.
Yeah,
because that could go like more than just a big bad. You got a whole community there. I think it would be so fascinating. Something that can engage all the X-Men. They're not all fighting one guy that's super strong and
right.
Yeah.
Well, they tried to do that in that TV series that was on. Not so much fight them, but.
Was that Mutant X or?
Yeah, it was like, it was that one that was on Fox years back. I can't remember what it was called, but they had a sort like I think it was the Morlocks were in it, and the problem with the Morlocks, they're not really so much, in my mind, they're not always bad. They're just But
that's what makes a better story sometimes, because you want. Just like Magneto's not always bad. Like a lot of things Magneto says, you're like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He's right. And that's what would be great with the Morlocks. You get a more personal, down-to-earth, street-level story with the mutants.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just don't fit in with society, so
yeah.
And you can just get some great, weird visuals in that movie with them, too.
Now I've got to think of that show. I can't think of the name of that show.
Now, are you excited for the Deadpool 3 movie, Ben?
Sure. I mean, I think the other two are probably two of my favorite Marvel movies. I mean,
yeah, they're just kind of magic.
And Ryan Reynolds, he kills.
Although they did Shatterstar wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Chris is right. It was called Gifted.
Oh, yep. I remember
Remember?
that. Yep.
Yeah, wasn't I think they had a whole thing where it was like they had stuff with the Morlocks in it.
Right. Was it Gemma Chan in that?
Yeah, I
Before
think
she started
so.
really popping as a movie actress?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think that's what it
Because
was.
I think, wasn't she
I don't
Blink?
remember that show.
I don't know. All right, cool. All right, so number 11 with a personal story, Ben.
All right. Well, personal story is this is X-Men 20, and this is the first Silver Age book that I ever owned.
Ooh.
Not this one particularly, because the first one I ever owned had like it was chewed up and water
Right.
damaged and missing this and
Right.
rusted staples, and so this is I've upgraded.
It
to
led a
this.
full life, and you had to pass it on. You had to get another one.
Yeah.
I mean, this is still relatively low grade, but
What do you want for that old, though, right?
Yeah,
This-
man, that's trash. You just go ahead and gift it. Yeah, throw it in the box with the other one. You don't
I don't
want to
even
sully
remember-
your collection.
I don't even remember what happened with the original copy I had. I gave it to somebody or
Sure.
No.
sold it to Buck or
Do you still take those out and read them?
No, I haven't taken any of these ones out.
And they're so fragile. You almost don't want to. You got to glove it up just to.
Yeah, I mean, I'll stop around the bronze. You know?
It's funny when I'm reading some of the bronze books. I'm like turning the page and
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
You have to be
Yeah.
careful with them.
right. Like I have my ASM 194. It's probably a 335. I just sent it in to get graded. I'm like, I just don't want it to deteriorate anymore. I don't want to open it. I don't want to touch it. I got enough reprints of it. Let's just preserve it the way it is so I can enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think moving forward, I'm going to focus on if I send more books in to get them graded. I really want to do that and focus on the higher grade Silver Age. Less to see how high a grade it is, but more to just keep it the way it is. And
Right. Preserve it. Yeah.
pray
Absolutely.
that CGC doesn't fucking destroy it when they have
Right.
it. It's a crapshoot these days with both of those companies. In
Yeah.
but, I mean, what can
Now
you do?
I gotta ask you before we get to your spec pick. First of all, for Ben Parker and a Spider-Man sticker logo and all this other stuff, not one Spider-Man book in the bunch. Just
Yep.
saying. So
I know.
that was cool because no, that's not a criticism. It was just cool because you brought something different that we didn't expect, and that's when you really get to start knowing all the levels that people
Right.
have as collectors, right?
He's
There's
more than
so
just
much
he's more than just a pretty face and likes the Spider-Man. He also likes this.
Hey, this guy's never been accused of a pretty face. I can tell you that much. So, Ben, I got to know though, because I always love to know what someone's favorite storyline is in comics. Is there a particular storyline that you can go back and reread, no matter what year it is? That you just love it that much?
Oh, that's a good question. I liked the Brood arc of the X-Men
Yeah, sure.
because it was like I was also way into aliens and
And you got binary.
it just it just reminded me of the movie Aliens, and it was I mean it was creepy. It was a little scary when I was
Right? Yeah.
And a great design too, and the whole Brood mine.
yeah.
It's funny you brought them up because they're right now in the current Captain Marvel book. Her and the X-Men are fighting them.
Oh really?
And the Brood had just got control of them. They thought they were in the battle, and then all of a sudden they're all like at this party, they're celebrating, and then they realize that they're all like tied to pods and in this fake fantasy land
Wow.
that the Broods were like putting in their minds, and that they
That's
didn't win
pretty
at all. Yeah,
That's pretty trippy. Who's writing that?
Kelly Thompson doing a great job.
Nice.
Oh, speaking of, but the Brood is a cool enemy, kind of like I always thought they were cool, and also the Phalanx.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Now, was it the Brood in Rom, Gary?
No, that was
That
Oh,
wasn't
now
the
you're gonna
Brood.
make me forget. It wasn't the Brood.
It was.
Damn, oh my gosh, Jim, why'd you have to ask me? Because as soon as you asked me, it left me. I'm too old. I'm too old to be asked a question on the spot now. It immediately leaves my mind.
No, I really
Even though
thought
I
it was
read that
them, but
whole
it's not. I
series.
know who you're talking. I know you're right. It's not them. It's the Wraiths.
Yes,
Right?
the race.
Wraiths. Yeah.
But they were also in the X-Men comics.
Right. That's what confused me for a minute there because I know they were in it as well.
Like that one cover when the Wraith is all over Storm. I got a couple copies of that just because it's the race.
Yeah.
But they were cool. Another great series. That's when I started collecting again. That was one of the first series I put back together was ROM.
Yeah.
1 through 75, the 4 annuals, the Incredible Hulk appearance, the Power Man and Iron Fist appearance.
Wow.
Just like childhood nostalgia treasure to me. You know, I always say too, and I'm sure you can agree, Ben, nostalgia is a hell of a drug and it costs you a pretty penny.
Right.
It does. It does.
But now, is there anything that you're nostalgic about from from when you were a child that you wish had become a comic but never did? For me, it's Thundar the Barbarian. I always wanted a Thundar comic, never got one. Do you
They
have
didn't-
anything like that?
They didn't do a Thundar.
No.
No.
What a
Dude,
missed
not that I know of.
opportunity.
That was awesome. I love that show too. Yeah, that was great. Geez, I don't know, man. They made all my childhood favorites.
Nice. Well, good for you.
Voltron. Yeah, see? They're Voltron.
Oh, yeah, it's so many greats.
Yeah.
Because I remember too, just being swept away with Spider-Man and his amazing friends, and you go back and watch it now, you're like, wow, that wasn't great, but I still love it.
Yeah, right on. I mean,
Yeah. Like when they fight the what was it, the Electro guy coming out of the video game, the Video Man.
Yep.
I was
Or,
like, oh man.
Or Swarm.
I watched that with my son, and he's like, "Dad, are we really gonna watch this?" I'm like, "Shut up! Yes, we are."
Like, and the Dracula episode too.
Yeah.
Such
I
good
made him
memories.
watch all that crap, and he was just like, "I can't believe you like this." I'm like, just relax."
Right. Do you want an allowance or not? Shut up.
Right. He talks. I made him watch the thing, Gary, and he was just like, "Really? This is it?" I'm like, "Dude, there was no CGI.
that's
You
Yeah.
spoiled little bum." You know, I'm like, "Come on."
This is all made with people's hands.
This was this was made with people's hands. So
puppeteers.
yeah, they don't always understand that when they see it.
All right, let's get to your spec pick. What did you bring us for a spec pick, Ben? What do you think's gonna pop here, buddy?
All right. Well, I'm terrible with spec. I don't do it.
Same here, but it's fun.
I can't
Yeah.
keep up. I can't keep up, and the movies and everything just. I think what everyone experiences to some degree is like it just doesn't live up to what you had
Right.
in your mind, you know,
Right.
of course. So, because it's something that came from somebody else's mind. So,
Sure.
so I don't do spec very much. So I did Tales to Astonish number 90, which is the first appearance of the Abomination.
Oh,
Oh.
Abomination.
okay. So he's in that book? That's his first appearance?
Yep, this is his first.
Huh.
The next issue 91 is his first cover appearance and the one that I think people
He's fighting the Hulk or
gravitated
something.
more.
Yeah. That's the one I thought was his first appearance.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that may be his first full. This may be his first cameo, but I know this is his first.
Well, it's funny. A lot of first appearances, like the Nebula first appearance, and terrible cover, right? Like Nebula's nowhere on the cover.
Right.
I mean, it's not a bad cover. It's just all these first appearances, and for a first appearance, you think they'd at least get a little cover love.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I
But they
agree.
want to keep it a surprise. And
They put him at that very last panel at the end, and they go, "Okay, now."
I don't know. You think Stan Lee would just slobber that person on there and go, "Who's this? Read to find out."
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Excelsior.
Right.
All right, that could be possible. I don't know where he'll show up again. I mean, he was in the She-Hulk thing, and maybe he'll be in the Thunderbolts.
Right.
But they got to make him badass again, not this, not emo abomination.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. So
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just a monster that's down on his luck.
yeah,
Shut up.
he needs to be a killer.
So
Yeah, I think to that point, I've noticed that as a diehard Marvel fan, I really enjoy DC's TV shows.
Oh yeah.
The Marvel shows.
Hmm.
They're just darker and more gritty and more, I think, geared towards the adult crowd.
Right.
Like a Peacemaker and Doom Patrol and shows like that. They're just
Sure.
I've really enjoyed those.
And they're I mean, I think
I've
DC
enjoyed both sides. So
yeah, I think DC.
I have too, but it feels like the DC has just got this grittier, darker edge to it. That's just a little more up my alley.
Their animation is just always, I think, has always been on point, and now the real life action is catching up. I mean, that last season of Titans, but the first couple were really good. I really enjoyed watching it.
I gotta watch the fourth and last season. Right now I'm so stuck on The Last of Us. I don't want to watch anything until I've absorbed every episode of The Last.
Yeah, that's been on point.
Yeah,
I never played
good.
that. Yeah, I've never played that game. I'm not a gamer, but man, I've loved
I played that
show.
game so many times, and I can tell you, this is the best adaptation of a game property to live action that's ever been done. It is It is incredible, and the acting is just as good as the acting in the video game. And I don't know, everyone's picking on because they're putting Pedro Pascal in everything. But if that guy can act this good and everything, put him in everything. I don't care.
Hey, he's
put him in
getting
every
paid.
damn movie if he's this good. That guy's amazing.
Now, have you watched the last one?
Yes, because Joel is a complicated character, and it takes a great actor to pull Joel off.
Right.
And Joel, when you play that game, Jim, Joel is stuck in your mind.
Yeah.
So I was really worried about Joel's portrayal when it came up.
Yeah.
From the very first moments, Pedro sold me. I was like, all right, this is Joel. I'm good. This is Joel. He's got it. He understands Joel.
Yeah. Now, is he alive or dead?
No, everyone that's in the show is alive. Like that.
No,
going on
I mean, in that last episode, you said you watched the last episode.
Oh, yes.
Does he?
You really want me to spoil it for you?
No. I'm just saying. I mean,
I will tell you backstage. I will not spoil it for everybody that's watching.
Okay.
I know what happens.
Well, what if they don't follow the game?
They're going to, because it's an important part of the arc, and Druckmann, who wrote the game, would not skip this part of the arc. It's too important to the story, and it's too important to him as a creator.
All right, well then don't tell me. I'll wait for next Sunday. Never mind.
And Dave and I just broke up as friends. I'm just kidding, Dave. Ben started to learn. That Gary guy, he's kind of an ass. He's not as nice as I thought. No. Ben.
Yeah.
Absolutely spectacular books. I love that you surprised me with every single pick. All 10 surprised me. It was fantastic. Awesome. I love seeing that side and what else you collect. I mean, obviously with a name like Ben Parker Comics, you automatically assume Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And but
well, Gary, my parents named me Ben Parker, not Charles Xavier.
Right? It is so funny because I just thought Ben Parker was a made up name because you were such a fan.
No, it's just my middle name is Parker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's like I went to school with a Charles Maxwell House. I kid you not. That was his name. I said, that's just wrong. Charles Maxwell House. That was his full name.
Yeah, his parents deserve a good booting for that.
Yeah, for sure.
I always wonder if the parents too that you name your kid this super long name, like they have to learn how to spell that, right?
Right.
And then every time they sign anything, it's a freaking book for them. Why would you do that to your kid?
That's me. I have a very long last name, and I'm left-handed, so I just drag through it, and by the time I'm done signing my name, it's just a big smudge across the page.
You got that,
Nice.
that doctor's signature, like my wife. She has like 4 names, and I was like, why did they do that?
Oh yeah, Cocaine Bear looks like a lot of fun, that movie.
That looks awesome. Yep.
Now, the commercial came across the other day, and I was looking on my tablet, and it was on the TV, and my wife said, "Hey, can we go see that?" And I almost fell out of the chair. I was like, "What? You want to see that?" She goes, "Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be like The Big Lebowski. It's gonna be a cult classic. We got to see it."
It's based on a true story. I mean,
And that's what she said. It's based on a true story. We got to go see it.
This movie.
Okay, well then I guess we'll go. I think we're gonna go this weekend. Actually,
Nice. So is your wife going to drop a couple lines before she goes?
No,
Really?
none of that. But it just shocked me. It just shocked me because she's so, she's not a big movie person, and then it's like that out of nowhere she says, "Hey, can we go see that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I was gonna go see it anyway by myself. I didn't think you'd want to go." So
You got to have that fun, irreverent stuff.
yeah.
You need something to break up the stress of having to adult. Adulting's
Very true.
Adulting's just it's debilitating sometimes.
Very true.
Yep.
So
but no, great. Thank you, Ben. I was so happy when you agreed to come on because I always wanted to have a conversation with you and talk to you, and we just never had the opportunity.
Yeah.
All I knew is I've sent stuff to you, you've sent stuff to me, and it's always been a solid deal.
Yeah, exactly. No, this has been great. I definitely, you two are absolutely friends. I've been chatting back and forth with both of you guys since I got on Instagram, and it's definitely good to sit down with you finally.
Yeah.
And just keep this in mind in the future. This show is set up for repeat appearances. That's why it's not your top 10.
Right.
So you can always pick another set of 10 books, and I'm going to drag you back on in the future. So
I'm never doing this again.
right. I wanted to meet Gary. It wasn't anything like I wanted it.
Yeah,
to be.
I'm out. I'm out.
I've already blocked you. I mean,
Right? I don't blame you.
That's awesome.
No, this has been awesome, man. Definitely.
Yeah, super fun. So I want to thank the audience. And before we leave, Jim, what's coming up for you, sir? You got anything in the pipe?
I do. I will be making a video. I'm starting a new segment that's called "Can You Dig It?" And what it is I have this mystery box I'm going to open, and in what I'm going to do is ask the question, can you dig it or not dig it? And I'm going to also touch a little bit on mystery boxes. I think everybody has an opinion about them, what they should and shouldn't do, or what they should bring to you, and do that. And then also I have a pack that's a mystery bag of coins, because you guys know I do metal detecting. I bought this bag of coins off of eBay, off of a group up in Pennsylvania, and it's kind of the same deal. It's like I know everybody doesn't know coins, but I'm going to open it, and then again, do you think I got my money's worth based on, I'll tell you the price that I paid. Do you think I got my money's worth? Is it, a good deal? And is that the only reason why you buy them? So
I'm going to need a professional DJ Links edited video of that when the price flashes up on every coin as you hold it
oh
up.
Lord, we'll see. I'm not as good as DJ Links on that, but yeah, I'm going to try. This one's actually going to be harder because I'm not always sure where to look on some of that stuff, but And it's not always about this. This goes back to the same thing as the comic book one. It's not always about the money. It's about what are you trying, what were you doing when you bought it? And I'll give you an example. This one, this particular box was in my opinion, a strict gamble. It wasn't, oh my God, there's several books in here I have to have. This person did not show one single book. Not one single book was shown. You're strictly gambling for the GP.
Wow.
So I have no idea what's in. Well, I have an idea because we know in the chat, but that doesn't matter to me. That's part of what I'm talking about. There's several different layers to a mystery box. It's more than just, there's different ways to go with it. That's all. So anyway, there's going to be a video of that coming up. It'll be Friday, tomorrow, or Saturday. I got to film it first. And, eventually I'll get out digging again, but I don't know if I'm going to put a video together because I kind of like dropping those shorts, man.
Yeah,
I mean, they're just so much fun.
Yeah, those are cool.
Come up to Rochester and dig us out of the snow.
It's just easier. It's less editing. You just, hey, look what I found right here. And it's just, I can drop it and it's fun. It's easier to do. So I don't know if I'm doing quite as many. I have my detecting friend that I used to detect with is coming back from Bucharest. He's a Marine stationed over there, and he's coming back in March for a week, and he's already keyed me up and said, hey, I'm going to want my machine. You and I are going to go out for the day. So I'll definitely do a video of that. Nice. And that'll be fun. And then I'll post that one because, that'll be a fun time. But, that's what I got going on. And then, hanging out with you, Gary.
Right. Nice. Well, coming up for me this Saturday, we have Savage Saturday Comic Review like every week. So I'll review something Savage. It'll be fun. Next Tuesday on the 1011, we have Tony from Comiverse who's going to be on. And you just saw him in the hot seat, and we talked to him. So we're going to have a lot of fun with Tony and get to see what books are important to him. And I'm pretty much scheduled out for the next month on that show. Wow. I got to book a few more people. I had some stuff I had to jumble around for in the hot seat, so I got to book that up, or I'll just fill it with more 1011 episodes. Something there's always someone that wants to do the 1011 that I can move them up, but we'll figure it out. And Ben, anything coming up for you on the Instagrams or?
No.
You know what? Ben is trying to get the comic room together, Gary. That's what Ben's focused on.
I am absolutely focused on I'm in this little space right now, and I'm building a much bigger space. And
Ben's got to learn to be more succinct in his answers. He just drags on for way too long. You can't shut the guy up.
Nope.
No, I'm actually, I do have a couple of grails to me coming in over the next week that I've picked up recently, and I'm really looking forward to posting those because they're books that I sold years ago, and I'm finally getting them back. So
nice.
Yep.
Well, good. I look forward to seeing those on your Instagram page. And for those of you who don't follow Ben, if you're catching this on the rewind. His Instagram is tagged below in the description. You can just click on the link and go follow him on IG. See all the cool books he posts. You can also sub up and follow my co-host Jim on YouTube and Instagram. And you're already here, so I'm assuming you're subbed to me. If you unsub me, I don't blame you. It's fine. No, thank you. Thanks everyone for coming out. We had a great chat going tonight. Thank you guys. I saw some of the VIP lounge in here. Thank you guys for coming to check it out. And guys, as always, thank you all so much. I appreciate everybody that comes on this show and helps make it what it is. And until next time, keep it casual.